Well, welcome to Court Helicopter News, our weekend segment of Explainer, the fifth series that still is dealing with the Marriage Act 2014. Today, we shall be looking at this question. Have you seen in church when a wedding is being conducted, a woman walks in screaming to stop the wedding because either the man was the husband or the man or the woman was a wife? Or have you seen a man walk in and say, this was my girl, this was my person? She cannot be married that way. That is an attempt to stop a marriage. Therefore, today we shall be looking at the law. How are these things dealt with? Because they have been rampant and they have caused a lot of agony. A wedding ceremony is a serious financial question where people collect money and spend heavily. A wedding ceremony is not a two-people affair. It involves very many people, very many stakeholders. The two families are involved, friends are involved, colleagues are involved, religious leaders are involved, the community is involved, and therefore the huge number of people that are there. The third element why marriage is a wedding ceremony is not a joke is the pain if those people are going to be married. Find that that day there is drama in church. Chairs are being thrown all over. Their reputation completely shattered. That makes a wedding ceremony a solemn occasion. Remember, out of all ceremonies, at birth, these people do not know when they are being born. When they are going for initiation, they are still kids. At graduation, it is not them who have made that decision. It is a normal process after university that they will graduate. So the first fundamental decision a boy or a girl makes is to decide who will be a life partner. And that is very critical. It is a person who they will walk together till death. It is a person she is moving away from her blood relatives, called the father, the mother, the siblings, to join a life partner. It is when the boy leaves his own people and gets this stranger, and they take vows. And that is why stopping a marriage is not a joke. The law provides that all marriages, remember last time we identified only 5 marriages: the Christian marriage, the Muslim marriage, the civil marriage, customary marriage, and the Hindu marriage. All marriages can be stopped from being conducted. But this is the procedure. 1, every marriage must be announced. Notices must be announced. In civil marriages, 21 days notice must be announced by the registrar of marriages. If it is a church marriage, similar 21 days notice must be done in church so that anybody who has an objection can raise a notice. For the village, the customary notice, people are told that dowry is coming to be paid on this day. For Nyambura, Rurasho is on this day. For Otieno, the dowry is being brought on this day. The public is aware. So that notice, anybody who wants to challenge that notice must do a complaint in writing by law, specifying his or her full names, his or her age, his or her interest in this marriage that is being announced, and disclosing why he or she wants that marriage to be stopped. And she must or he must disclose where the marriage is going to be conducted, and the marriage he wants or she wants to stop is between who and who. And between the two parties that are marrying, who exactly is she or is he having an issue? That written complaint is then presented to the person called the registrar. If it is the civil marriage, there is a registrar of civil marriages. If it is the church or a religious place, the father, the presiding person who is going to conduct that marriage. If it is the Muslim, there is the religious sheikh, there is the imam who is going to conduct that marriage. If it is the traditional ceremony, the people who are going to negotiate that dowry under that customary marriage. That complaint, both parties must be served that complaint. Then the law provides that determination, a hearing must be done. So if the complaint is brought on the day before the wedding, and the presiding officer who is going to conduct that marriage finds that it is valid, there is a possibility that the marriage ceremony will be postponed until that dispute is dealt with. But somebody must prove that he got or she got that information a day before the day of the wedding. If the notice was pinned within 21 days, you are supposed to make your complaint before the day of the wedding, before the expiry of the notice. So the law provides that that complaint must be heard. Both parties must be present. They must be given a time to respond, and that decision must be concluded within 7 days. That is the law. If the decision of the religious person, now we call all of them the registrars conducting marriages, if it is not challenged, then the marriage will proceed. The determination is done within 7 days. Anybody aggrieved has 14 days to go to the courts of law. Then you move to the judiciary. You file your matter if you are dissatisfied with the decision of the father or the priest or the pastor. You have 14 days. Meanwhile, the wedding will not be conducted within those 14 days until the court either gives a stay to stop the wedding ceremony or it does not stay. If the court stays that ceremony, then the case, the wedding will be stopped. Number 2, what are the valid grounds that can stop a marriage ceremony from being conducted, or a wedding ceremony from being conducted? 1, the person, one of them, that is the man or the woman, is already married in a monogamous marriage. There's a marriage certificate, and those are the 3 marriages. One of them is married in the civil manner, or Christian manner, or the Hindu manner. That person cannot be married. That is enough ground to stop a marriage. Number 2, one of those people being married is a relative, and the law does not qualify that person to be married. For example, in a civil marriage, in a Christian marriage, in a Hindu marriage, in a customary marriage, if one is a cousin, that is enough reason to stop that marriage from proceeding. 3rd, if one of the people being married is a child below the ages of 18, no marriage can be conducted in this country if somebody is at the age of 18, below 18 years. And any other reason that the presiding pastor or bishop shall look and say, this is enough ground for this person not to conduct a marriage. For example, one is an imbecile. This person has no capacity at all to make a decision. Or one of the person has been forced to be in this marriage. She is not ready for this man, or he's not ready for the lady. That is enough reason to stop a marriage. Or other reasons as provided for by the Marriage Act. Lastly, what are the penalties that will force you will meet if you try to stop a marriage? If you succeed to stop a marriage and later you lose the case, the penalties are terrible. They are terrible, and we shall be dealing with the penalties of marriage together. There are very many penalties, some criminal, some civil, because the question of people walking to church, start screaming and throwing chairs that this marriage cannot proceed is a serious, serious issue. We shall be dealing with those issues later. We shall continue the next episode, as we had promised, about Court Helicopter News, Wakili Danstan Omari. Thank you very much.